Well, what would it take to make you tear your green card? For Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, it's a Trump presidency. His comments were made in a conversation with students at Oxford University in the UK. The famous author appears to be taking a swipe at Donald Trump over his radical stance on immigration. The green card is a permanent residence permit for the US, and many Africans prize this green card. Mr. Trump is famous for his promise to build a wall to keep Mexican immigrants out of the United States if he makes it to the White House. He's also promised that every legal immigrant currently in the United States will be subject to deportation if he wins the election. He says there will be no pathway to citizenship or even legal status for them unless they leave the country and get in line with everyone else who wants to enter the U.S., subject to normal immigration procedures. Mr. Soyinka said he feared the Republican candidates would make all green card holders to reapply to come back into the United States. Our correspondent in Washington, Maria Bird, joins us now. Maria, I'm glad you could join us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, for the sake of our viewers, how important is this green card?
Green card is vitally important. I mean, it's a permanent residency status for those who come from other countries. I mean, I'm a product. My grandmother had a green card. And so, I mean, half of Americans almost are products of someone that has had a green card. So this is vital to the permanent residency. So that just says a lot about those who come to the U.S. hoping for something different, wanting to be a part of the American dream, to say that they've been interested in tearing up their green card if someone was elected president.
So would it make sense to tear it up for something like a Trump presidency?
Yes. You know, it's clear that regardless of if we have Secretary Clinton or whether or not we go with Donald Trump here in the U.S., there are immigration issues. So that's without a question. The question, though, is that where are the barriers going to be, and are we going to be building walls or are we going to be opening up borders to try to incorporate all Americans? 50% of Americans probably have some history very recent in their lives to someone that's from overseas. And so this is a time for us to really look at our immigration reform bills and really make sure that we enhance them rather than create more barriers.
Trump has already given us an idea of what he will do when if he becomes president. He says there will be no shortcuts. Everyone who wants to get into the U.S. will have to get in line like everybody else. So does he still maintain that stance even in his campaigns?
Yes, I mean, that's kind of, it's continued. I mean, there's obviously been discussions around trying to bridge, I guess, some of what has been portrayed to being anti-immigration, anti those who are here in the U.S. from other countries, but there's still a maintaining that there are issues in the U.S. around immigration, and people are very afraid. Those who are here without green cards, who are working toward getting green cards, those who are looking to come to the U.S., there's still a lot of fear behind some of the conversations and some of the words that have come from the Donald Trump campaign.
What about for Hillary Clinton? Can migrants or residents in the United States rest easy if she becomes president?
I don't know that the answer is rest easy, but I think that she would be seeing a very different approach to immigration. I think that there is going to be, she has a long history and career of looking at, I mean, she was Secretary of State, under President Obama. And so she has looked at immigration and looked at issues, international issues, a little bit differently. So I think that there are going to be some changes, but from what it looks like, according to her campaign, is that she's looking to build bridges rather than build walls.
Maria, thanks for joining us on Network Africa.